Yes, everybody, welcome back. My name is Howson, and this is tactical preview of Manchester United against AC Milan in the Europa League. Last few results for United, decent, scrappy. I say scrappy, it wasn't that scrappy actually, but decent, well-deserved 1-0 win for United against West Ham. Obviously, the potentially not well-earned draw against Milan the week before, and 2-0 against Manchester City. AC Milan beat Hellas Verona 2-0, drew United, and lost to Napoli. Pioli has got a handful of stars coming back for the second leg, including Zlatan. They're going to line up with Donnarumma in net. I think Dalot is going to be expected to shift across to right back, with Theo Hernandez coming back in at left back. Romagnoli is also in line for a return, but it wouldn't be necessarily a surprise to see him stick with Tomori alongside Kjær for his pace against United, because that is obviously something that we can look to hurt them with, particularly playing away from home. I think Maite and Kesse are likely to partner up in midfield again, with Kanaloglu returning ahead of them in the number 10 role. So this is already looking like a much more dangerous Milan side that we're coming up against. I think Saelemaekers should keep his place on the right with Rebic back fit. He should start on the left. Again, potency on the left there. But the big boost for them is that Zlatan Ibrahimovic looks to have run the race for fitness, and it'll be him that leads the line, and it'll be him that I think could cause United some problems. So Leo was lively in the first leg against United, but Zlatan looks set to replace him for this one. And it's a completely different goal threat. We should, by now, I would hope, know all about him. 39 years of age, though, Zlatan spearheaded AC Milan's return to the Serie A title race this season, and he's scoring goals for fun. He's played 18 games in all competitions this term, and he's got 14 goals and 2 assists, which is a hell of a return for a 39-year-old. He's directly involved in more goals than any other Milan player, despite missing a massive chunk of the campaign through injury. United's weakness defending set pieces and crosses in general means that Maguire and Lindelof are going to have a tough time keeping him quiet. How do United exploit what we've got then against AC Milan? Well, let's go through my Manchester United 11 and then we'll get into that. Dean Henderson, I think, will feature in goal ahead of De Gea. De Gea is available and has travelled, but I don't think he gets flung straight in, especially with it being a second leg away from home. I'm not sure that they're going to do that, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they did. I think the back four is going to be Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. I personally would have gone for Bailly, but it doesn't look like he's travelled, so I don't think it's going to be Bailly. I think they'll go with Matic and Fred. Matic offers a bit of a protection for the back four, which I think is going to be needed in this case. He's more defensive-minded than what you're going to get out of McTominay. Fred is in there for the hard work and hustle. I would prefer a ball player, or a much more rounded ball player. We just don't have them fit. We don't have them available. I think Pogba could be on the bench and could get half an hour in this, but I wouldn't be expecting him to start this game. And then the news that we've just had that both Martial and Cavani will not be featuring in this game means that the forward line is definitely going to pick itself. The only variation that I could see here is maybe we go with an extra midfielder, go with a 4-4-2 diamond, but Ollie's been pretty consistent, even when you don't expect him to be consistent with his formation this season. So I do think it will continue in the 4-2-3-1 with Bruno in the number 10. I think James, because he's looked pretty good value for his starts on the right. Rashford on the left, where he's at his best, with Greenwood down the middle. I think that's the only side that United can play, to be honest with you. The only other option would potentially be linking up with Telles and Shaw along the left, and maybe move maybe move Rashford centrally and see if he could do anything if you didn't want to start with Greenwood. But I think Greenwood's been putting in decent performances despite not getting on the score sheet, so I think it'll be with him. Now, how do United do this then? So I think United target the left flank. In the away leg against Sociedad in the last round, United perfected their away game plan by riding out the early pressure, and I would expect Milan to come with a very similar amount of pressure for killing them with balls over the top and holes through in the defence. We tried this against Milan to some success, but the attacks were broken down by lack of a final ball and a bit of cutting edge in the final third. With Theo Hernandez returning left back for Milan, it might be worth us trying to target him and look to try and see if we can push his injury with the pace of Dan James, look to get him behind him. But I think United's left flank is where we're going to find some joy. I think going up against Diogo Dalot, who we know isn't blessed with the most defensive of attributes, Rashford and Shaw doubling up on him, really putting him under pressure is how United could really do this. We have to watch Dalot with the ball at his feet because his delivery is very good, and finding Zlatan's going to absolutely bully Lindelof if he gets the opportunity. So we want to make sure we limit what Dalot does with the ball. When Dalot's defending, I think United should be absolutely running him ragged. I think that is where we go for it. Kjaer's not blessed with pace, so if Rashford, Greenwood, I guess, not the slowest, I think you're looking for them to try and create movement. Expect Milan to have a fairly high line that we can get in behind. See if we can open Milan up in a similar sort of fashion to what we saw United doing against Sociedad. And United could be in a good position here and could go on and win this game. I think United are in a decent spot here. And I think our away form is going to come to an end at some point. But I think we've got to go there with the confidence that we know how to play without the ball and we know how to play when we're playing away from home. So let's go and find out just quite how good we are without the ball.